Welcome to Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N.
We're here at Cafe Mimosa,
where we've just interviewed ex-boxer, promoter, commentator, Sky Sports pundit, podcaster, master knowledge, boxing historian, the main man himself, Spencer Fearon.
We spoke to him about his career, his thoughts on the upcoming big fights, and the state of the British boxing scene right now.
We also spoke to him about movies, Creed 2, Stan Lee, Game of Thrones, particularly Joffrey, and so much more. But on that note, let's roll the footage. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the hot chocolate.
No problem. You can have a second one if you like.
Nice.
But you go by many names: Master Knowledge, The Spirit, Boxing Historian. But how would you describe yourself, Spencer Fearon, the person?
I don't know, because you wouldn't say like self-praise is no recommendation.
You don't have to praise yourself.
Nah, but so if I was to go on and talk about myself, then it's kind of like praises. Like I'm just a cool guy. I try to be a cool guy. I try to be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I've got time for everybody.
Okay.
Because when you realise that time is not allocated to yourself. I mean, you don't own time. People get twisted. Think you do. You don't actually own time. It's not yours. Because if you did own it, when you die, time would stop.
Yeah.
It's only your time that stops. So it's not. You don't own time.
And what made you get into boxing?
Like my mum, you know, must have been about 5 years old, 85 years old.
Okay.
She would punch me in the daylight saying, my mum's serious like that. So my mum bought me an Incredible Hulk blow-up punching bag.
Oh really?
And a pair of gloves. And I said, I'm going to teach you how to fight. If I think about it now, the punches weren't really textbook. They were very much like Deontay Wilder punching, right? But that's how I got into boxing. Then my cousin Donald, he had a pair of boxing gloves, and my cousin's like 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
It was 1980, and he gets these gloves and he punches the hell out of me. But I didn't go over. I kind of held my own. So, and from then he said, yeah, we got to do this boxing, you got to do this. And then from then I just been fascinated to do boxing.
Now, I'm a massive fan of your podcast, Toe to Toe.
That means a lot, thank you.
Yeah, I listen to it every week. I know you work for Sky Sports, so like, but how did like that whole come about starting the podcast up?
Do you know what? It weren't down to me. There are two guys. There's an Irish guy. At the time, he was a senior producer at Sky, and his name's Barry McAdams, and it was his idea. He said, "Oh, we should do a boxing podcast." Because where it was Ed Robertson gave me the bringing at Sky. Ed's been my really good friend for years, and now he's like a top boy at Sky. He's like second in command for production for Sky Boxing, and they wanted to do an online show because I think Sky were moving to the fact that they think online presence was growing. And this is 2012, and he calls me up and says like, would I wanna come on and do the show with him? And I was like, yeah, alright, cool. So I'm there thinking, oh yeah, Sky, we're making some big money. They're paying me travel expenses. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like I say to many people, like, you gotta let your passion be a paycheck, and I'm so passionate about the game. And at the time, like 2012, like everything was going on for me. You know what I mean? Like 2 prize fighter winners, the Troy Truman Pro, Derek and Dial, Darren Hammond just won the British title from Ashley Fearfane. Crazy Chatler just won the English middleweight title from Matt Haney. So things were just really, really busted. Loads of things were happening to me. So I was doing a lot of press work. We had the Olympics that were on. I was the guest commentator for that as well. That meant a lot to me because they phoned me up. I got big up Matt Christie from the Boxing News, the editor of the Boxing News, because he said, "Oh, if you look for someone, you Spencer." And from then, it just kind of grew and grew and grew. I did a lot of bits for like Box Nation at that time as well. Like Bunce used to bring me in quite regular, and I would drop bars, and then people sat there and said, "Right, he really does know boxing." But people in the game already knew this, so it was only for the masses to start seeing it. So the masses started to see it, and then everyone started to cotton onto it, and then everything started to grow.
How often is it? Every week?
It's every week. It comes out every Wednesday. You can download it on iTunes, Radio Bang, or Sky website, and it's so popular. And because it's so popular, I'm really grateful, because there weren't no boxing podcasts in the UK. Then as soon as Sky done it, then everybody else started to jump on it. And you know what? And I'm saying I'm glad that people are talking about the sport that I'm passionate about. When I see all these guys, I'm saying you are speaking about the sport that I am greatly passionate about, and there should be more podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, you're clearly an expert in the boxing world, and we would like to think of ourselves as experts in the movie. So if we could kind of mesh two worlds. Off camera, we spoke about, you saw Creed 2 last night, I believe. You see it
You're
recently?
trying to bait me out.
Yeah, without spoiling anything.
I thought it was a really good film. It's a very, very enjoyable watch. I'll tell anyone to go and watch it. It's kind of different because I know when I was a kid, the buzz Rocky movies used to give me.
Yeah.
I mean, and going from the first Rocky, I knew all the lines of the movie.
Really?
It was ridiculous, and I would sit down and study it. And it's the truth. Like when you watch the Rocky films, like for me, Rocky great and all the rest of it. Yeah. But Apollo Creed was my guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, because he was modeled on Muhammad Ali as well and all the rest of it. When they said they're going to bring out this Creed franchise, I thought that was a no-brainer to go and do it. Michael B. Jordan, he done a very, very good job. The boxing choreography in the movie was pretty cool. You know what I mean? But going from the Rocky movies, it was like the punches were over exaggerated.
Yeah, even the sound effects. Yeah.
But of that time, that was needed, you know. And when you go back and watch the movies now, you realize that there's loads and loads of motivational messages.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, man, good movie, very, very good movie. I'll tell anyone to go watch it. And it will leave you buzzing. You'll leave there. Trust me, big man. You want to go to the gym, hit that treadmill. You know what I mean? Start hitting that bag. You know what I mean? Trust me.
Speaking of Rockies, which was your favorite Rocky? If you could choose one.
If I could choose one, I would say the original Rocky because I'm an adult. Yeah. But for like fight scenes, realistically, Rocky 3, the second fight with Clubber Lang and Balboa, that was bad. You know what I mean? But when you think about it, it's pretty unrealistic now. Rocky 4, because I really wanted Drago to get it after he killed Apollo Creed.
Okay, yeah.
I remember I was at school then, so that came out, was at 85, when that came out, so I was like, I was proper screwing when Apollo Creed died. I remember being in a picture house, right, in Elephant Castle, ABC, and which is knocked down now, and Apollo Creed gets killed, and I remember there was some black girl sat in front of me, crying their eyes out, and I was like, it's only a movie, you know what I mean? But I could understand, I could feel the pain. Yeah.
And you're a big movie fan in general?
Yeah.
And if so,
old school movies.
Okay, yeah, any movies. But for this year, what would you say was your favorite movie this year that you've seen?
Yeah, I would say Creed 2
really?
has been my favorite movie. When did Black Panther come out?
That came in February this year.
It came out in February?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To me personally, as a person of colour, like I like to remind people, Black Panther, what that represented, that was incredible. You know what I mean?
We went to Comic-Con recently and we had little kids dressing up as Black Panther. Not just black kids, they had kids of...
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. Children are children. Because when kids are kids, they don't actually see colour.
Yeah.
But what it does to them psychologically is like they're looking at the heroes as always being other than who they look like in the mirror. The difference is now they have seen on there that they are someone who looks like them. Was it? My daughter is 2.5 years old. My daughter will say that, I'm Black Panther's sister. She's 2.5. I'm Black Panther's sister because her brother will run around with the Black Panther cause in the house. So she will say, I'm Black Panther's sister. She's going around, I'm smart. My 2.5-year-old daughter. So it's a powerful statement.
And one final thing to do with movies on this segment: if there was a movie about your life, who would the actor be? Again, you can't play yourself.
Idris Elba would play.
Idris Elba.
Come on. Seriously. And you see, like, because I've got the white and the beard and that, loads of people, I'm saying, ugly boy, he ain't good looking like me. I've got a lot of time for Idris Elba.
Okay.
For the simple reason he forgot where he's come from. You know what I mean? And he's so pushing forward, and he hasn't cooned it to coin it, and that's very important. And people say, why is it always about race? It has to be because I'm on the platform and I know that we need to engage in that dialogue about racism and to have a tolerance for indifference. You know what I mean? And what we need to do as human beings is to start focusing on our similarities and not our differences. When we start focusing on our similarities, then the world that we live in would be a bloody better place.
I agree.
Now let's talk a little bit about boxing then. So British boxing right now is thriving. Like recently we've had more world champions than ever before. Why is it the place to be right now in Britain?
The infrastructure. You got to think. I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Everything has gone off of the back of Anthony Joshua. Dylan Whyte wouldn't have made the money that he's made and become the star, even coming second best to Anthony Joshua, if Anthony Joshua was here. So from the 2000, I'm telling you, I saw a push. 2012 was the time that we had the Olympics and we had good guys medal. So Luke Campbell, Nicola Adams, Anthony Joshua. We had these guys medal. What that did was it rose the game, and not only that, but then you had Jules Rose versus Carl Froch too. So people was talking, and it made the whole global scene speak, because what was it, 80,000 people at Wembley. Then everyone in America was looking at us and being envious of us because how things were set out. But then it was set out in such a way, and the infrastructure was so good, and the interest in the sport just rose, because it was a unified. Listen, I remember when the Olympics was on, everyone was just upbeat in the UK. Everybody was upbeat because of the Olympics. So I think if the Olympics hadn't been here, I don't think we'd have done so well in boxing, in professional boxing. That changed the whole game plan, and it changed the narrative of the perception of boxing. Like, everyone felt unified. And then we're seeing kids come through and how they were pushed and everything else, and we thought, wow, this is fantastic.
Also, the heavyweights, Dylan Whyte versus Derek Chisora.
Wicked fight. Let me tell you this. Dylan Whyte and Derek Chisora, 2009. I was a shareholder with a man that's like my uncle Alan Lacey. We used to run the Real Fight Club boxing gym, and I'd bring all the pros in to work in there and everything. And Dylan Whyte came down the gym. Dylan Whyte must have been about 17, 18 years old. Had no boxing experience, and there was a guy that used to help me out in the amateurs called Leroy Harris, who phoned me up and said, "Spencer, I got this kid. You have to look at him like he could fight, but he comes from kickboxing." I'm like, "Oh yeah, bring him down." And like, they used to help me out. Like, they train clients down the gym and stuff. And I get a phone call from Don Charles, said, "Have you got any heavyweights down there? We're looking for some sparring for Derek." I said, "Oh yeah, I've got some kid down there. He's like, he ain't had no real boxing experience, but he's tough." And he comes down and they spar, and they have an absolute war. I remember Rob McCracker was training these kids in there for Mick Hennessy at the time, and Rob McCracker said, "You want to sign that kid?" I was promoting him as well. He said, "You want to sign that kid?" I mean, he give it to Derek then. He did.
In the sparring.
He give it to him. He did give it to him. I remember Don Charles was saying, "Spencer, I want to manage that kid." Because he's just tough and he's fearless, right? He is fearless, and now that he's acquiring a boxing brain, he's dangerous, man. And he's got a proper box. If you ever sit down and talk boxing with Dylan Whyte, he will impress you, because he'll say certain things. I'm saying, you're not meant to know that, you know. Dylan's on point, man. I got a lot of time for Dylan Whyte, but I got a lot of time for Derek Chisora. But I just think it's at the table. I just think everything's about timing. But if anybody's going to bring out the best Derek Chisora, it's going to be Dylan Whyte. Derek Chisora could fight Big Baby Miller, most probably get outpointed and not show his best performance, but you give him Derek because it's personal, and they know each other, they've been sparring for it, right? So that fear factor's not there. So in his head, he's saying, "I'm just going to give it to him." And not only that, but I know Don Charles really well. Don Charles has known me since 11 years old. Don Charles will be pumping it into Derek Chisora that you're going to win the fight, and he's going to pump into his head how to win the fight, and this will make the fight great. I'm really looking forward to watching that fight.
But is it because the way, like you said, they personally know each other, do you think naturally they're just going to end up having a tear up?
Of course they are.
Because obviously you've got game plans, but they're just going to end up just...
No, they're going to end up having a tear up, but the thing is this, is like, one fighter has drastically improved. It's ridiculous at the rate that Dylan Whyte has improved. So he's drastically improved, and one guy is kind of on the decline, and this is no disrespect, he's kind of on the decline. But you know what? If Dylan wins this fight, then you know he's going to get the Anthony Joshua fight in April, right? You know he is. If Derek Chisora wins this fight, he must be scared to fight Big Baby Miller, right? And then if he beats Big Baby Miller, he'll get a shot at Anthony Joshua. So it's all or nothing for both of these guys.
Wilder Fury, what's your thoughts on that one?
And that will bring an end to part 1 of our interview with Spencer Fearon. Part 2 should be on the screen right now or in the description below. We talked to him about Wilder Fury, Khan v Brook, Stan Lee, Infinity War, Game of Thrones, and of course the awesome charity, the MTK Foundation. Just click on the link.